Welcome to this episode of the People Dividend Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Horne, and I am absolutely delighted to be coming to you. For those of you who are listening on our episode launch date, September 9th or around that time, welcome to early fall in the United States. We've got all of summer behind us at this point, conventionally thinking about it. And as we do, we're also about ready to enter the fourth quarter in October for many people who keep a fiscal calendar on a quarter calendar, on a year calendar. So it's a good time to start talking about burnout. And it's increasing challenge in the workplaces. People have gone back and forth, bounced up and down this year. And when people burn out, it's a certain pathology, I think, that not only exists in an organization. One thing that I've learned at working in a lot of bigger organizations, but I think it's true even as an entrepreneur now with my own business, is that organizations will take as much as you're willing to give. Um, so we want to be mindful of burnout, what it means, not from a clinical sense necessarily, but really from an anecdotal point of view of what it means to work with a person who's in stages of burnout, or whether you're experiencing it yourself. And also a great time to talk about mental health and seeking help when you are in a state of crisis in your personal or in your work life or any aspect of your life, particularly with the increasing challenge of burnout. It's a good time to talk with a mental health professional. We no longer have the stigma around it. Um, uh, and what we want to do is think about, how do you take burnout, how, if you've experienced it or you're wondering about it or you've observed someone in it, and make you think about resilience and about renewal. So let's think about it. Well, when do we see burnout? Missing assignments, overworked, always there, always first, always last. Um, and increasingly, what you see in burnout is ineffectivity. Um, or you see, or what you don't see is the chaos that's underlying the presentation of perfect. So you really want to understand what burnout means from you, from your own experience, as I do, and to see the pain and the anguish that people experience when they're in stages of burnout and what it ultimately does. Certainly unhealthy for the individual, but it also erodes the things that we always talk about in people dividend: productivity, morale, retention. It hurts all the way around when we have burnout. So excessive workloads can lead to it. Having an over demanding boss, having unclear expectations. Those are three things that can lead to burnout, and you want to be mindful and conscious of these, particularly if you're in our audience and you're a human resources or people and culture leader, so that you can make adjustments and modifications to help everyone in that system. And in doing this, we have to build resilience in our leaders, in organizations, and in teams. And I want to explain a couple of things that I think you can do relatively immediately, or certainly as a pathway to building more resilience. And this is what I'll offer in today's episode, The People Dividend. One is, set boundaries for yourself and maintain work-life harmony. We used to talk about it as work-life balance. Balance doesn't happen. We could talk about it as blend. It is maintaining this work-life um, harmony for all of us. And I work when you are self-aware, when you are mindful, you can really begin to um, work on building resilience. But it does take it does take self-awareness and a practice of doing this and mindfulness, so that you can navigate your stress. And I'm not talking about eustress, good stress. I'm talking about distress, the bad stress that happens. So all leaders go through challenging times, and all of my clients usually come to me in some set of transition. It's a time of challenge. Learning isn't always fun. It's filled with anxiety and um, and a number of issues that I've talked about in Integrity by Design, my first book. So this is really about resilience, and understanding how you go through transitions is certainly key to uh, getting through burnout and moving to keeping your team and yourself resilient. So I'm going to come back to some themes that are so common on the People Dividend podcast, but I think are absolutely essential to creating resilient organizational cultures. One is, let's foster psychological safety. Go back and look at some of my older presentations. And maybe I'll turn a LinkedIn blog into one this September, right around this podcast, on psychological safety and open communication, how important these are for leaders and executives today. And we have to continue, despite the scarcity of resources in many organizations, focus on professional development. And what does it mean to help someone grow his or her or their career, and the wellness programs that we can extend if you're in well-resourced organizations, or thinking about how to do that in organizations of any size, and certainly mentorship, and where you can give that, and where it's so important in helping others in their careers and flourishing. There are lots of organizations. Please pick up a copy of the People Dividend if you want to review and consider organizations that have successfully turned these tragedies, the tragedy of burnout, into opportunities for growth in their systems. So let's prioritize resilience. Let's learn how to recover. Let's learn to be resilient in our well-being. Make a simple, you need a simple exercise. Reflect on all your own stressors and what small but impactful changes that you could make today. And share this episode. Please give it a like, share it with someone who might benefit from its insights, as we spoke today in our brief little beginning of September episode. It's really a teach-in sort of today about what to do with burnout and keeping yourself and your team resilient. So please, if you're facing these issues, be sure to talk with a friend, a coworker, a confident, a mental health professional, and think about strategies that you can deploy resilience. It's an important part of everyone's professional development to get through it, to do more than that, than to thrive in environments so that you can bring your best and work on it authentically. Until the next episode of the People Dividend, I'm your host, Mike Horne. Stay well, lead brilliantly.